The show is 7 billion, and it's a quest on many, many levels. And one of those levels is Raina's healing journey. Another of those levels is my own evolution. And another of those levels is bringing awareness to humanity about extinction.
My name's Lex Salisbury, and I and my wife own Giraffe Ranch, Farm Tours, and also Safari Wilderness Ranch in Lakeland, Florida. And I have a master's in environmental studies. And my wife has a master's in sculpture, and we have both been to Africa 37 times.
Whoa.
I've been 30 times, she's been 7 times. And what we're doing is taking people out in big areas with species that are, some are extinct in the wild, some are vulnerable to extinction, some are just interesting and people like to see them. But we do lots of hands-on interactive educational things here that are really based on explaining to people the importance of biodiversity and what's going on. And actually Monday, we are going to be 100% carbon neutral. We just put in a $150,000 solar system, which is getting rid of our electric bill completely. And you'll see the solar arrays.
It's a big deal.
Well, you know, even if you don't, I know a lot of people who are sort of don't buy into the notions of science, so they don't buy the climate change theory. I obviously do, because I went through the scientific, I believe in scientific method and was educated in that.
Absolutely, it's happening.
Yeah, and I'm from Alaska, and it's happening. It's very evident it's happening there with the glaciers and so on. And actually, some of my dad's friends. My dad was a professor at the University of Alaska. Yeah, and one of his friends was a guy who just spoke at my dad's. He had a funeral up in Alaska, and this guy got up and he worked in the geophysical, Carl Benson, and he was telling me that he has been doing, throughout his career, he's been doing core samples in Greenland. And we talked about climate change and how climate change actually is a natural phenomenon, but and it's happened several times. The isotope data shows it's happened several times over the millennia, but the level of carbon dioxide has never been as high as it is currently.
Right,
so
that's the rate of extinction.
Yeah, and we're in this Anthropocene here, which
is that what it's called? It's
called the Anthropocene because humans are affecting biodiversity, and there could be 50% mass extinction. So it's an important thing.
At this very moment already, or?
Well, it's in that we're presiding over it right now.
You know what's happening?
I'm feeding a rhino.
You're feeding a rhino?
8 months old. They're both males.
Oh my goodness! And in terms of evolution, how is there's the little dinosaur hook, right? Or no?
That's
right there.
That is an adaptation for a browser. Browsing rhinos have that. That's like a black rhino have that. White rhino do not. That's a browsing adaptation.
So
but these are a sort of old mammal that called a parasidactylid or odd-toed hoofstock. They have 3 toes, and these are on the way out. There's only 5 species of these left on Earth. There used to be hundreds of species of rhinos. They evolved in North America. There's only 5 species left. 3 in Asia, 2 in Africa.
Before we go, is there anything hopeful you have to say to humans about extinction and mass extinction?
Well, I just hope that my feeling is that in the end, you save the things you love, and if you know animals and love animals, you're going to save animals. And if people can have more of a hands-on interactive experience with animals, they're going to be passionate about saving them, and they're not going to do this thing where they think that all human interaction with animals is exploitative. I think the total opposite. I'm not on board with the animal rights guys on that. I think that humans, in the end, are the dominant species here, and they're going to decide what lives and dies, and we need to work together to make sure we protect as much biodiversity as possible, and that's going to be doing stuff in captivity, but in the best way that's
every human with animals as.
Yeah, and I'm into doing it on bigger pieces of property, like an old abandoned cattle farms as opposed to inner city parks.
Right. Here's to the farmer in all of us, the being that has survived from nothingness to this very moment, elegant and sacred.